Y'all know I wrote a book, right? It's called Buy a Game and it's free. Click the link down there, you got it.
DreAllDay.com.
What's up, everybody? Dre Baldwin, DreAllDay.com. This week's motivation is stories and statistics. Stories and statistics. And this is a very simple concept for everyone to understand. You ever hear those statistics that people lay out about how hard it is to reach a certain level of success in anything? People say, well, only 3% of high school basketball players play in college, only 1% or less than 1% of college players play in the pros or play in a certain league, or whatever the percentage is of high school football players who make it to the NFL, or the percentage of athletes in other sports who make it to play in the Olympics or win a medal in the Olympics, or the percentage of small businesses that go out of business within their first 5 years. All these statistics telling you how hard it is to be successful. Y'all have heard those before, right? And there are plenty of statistics you can lay out, and all of them are, for the most part, they're accurate. For the most part, they are accurate. They are hard facts, black and white, based on things that are actually happening in this world. And a lot of people become those statistics, since most of the time the statistic says the majority of people don't reach the success, so that's why the statistic exists. But then there's the other side of the statistic. There's the other side of that stat. I remember once I was reading a story about Kobe Bryant, and he said he was talking about playing basketball, and he was all into basketball, and someone who knew him said, Kobe, don't you understand that only 1 in a million basketball players ever makes it to the NBA? And Kobe said, man, I'm trying to be that one. I'm trying to be that 1 in a million. And obviously Kobe Bryant did make it to become that 1 in a million, and Kobe Bryant didn't become a statistic. What Kobe Bryant became was a story. Kobe Bryant became a story because he was the 1 in a million who made it, and then we know his whole story of how he did it. And any other person who defies the odds of these statistics, the odds stacked against you, if you ever heard that before. If someone says 90% of businesses don't make it to 10 years, any business that makes it to 10 years, now you got a story. Hey, our business has been around for 15 years. Well, guess what? Now you're a success story. Y'all heard that before, a success story. As one of the people who's on the other side, the against the odds side of a statistic that says most people don't succeed in this area. That one player who made it to the NBA or to the NFL or won an Olympic gold medal or started a successful business on a shoestring budget, you become a story. You are a success because you didn't become one of the stats, the 80% or the 90% or the 99% or the 57%. You became one of the stories. You're a success. Now you got a story to tell. When you have a story to tell people, other people want to pay you for it. People will pay their attention and they'll pay their money to hear your story. If you ever go to a conference or you have an assembly at your school and you have someone come in to speak to the audience, usually they got a success story to tell. That's what got them on the stage in the first place. I'm on stage because I got a success story. I'm one of the few who did make it. I'm one of the few who did make that business work. I'm one of the few whose marriage didn't dissolve after 2 years. I'm one of the few who did make it to this level of professional sports. While all this matters to you for this week's motivation is that you have to decide whether you're going to become a story or you're going to become a statistic. And it's much easier, I'm going to let you know this, much easier to become a statistic than it is to become a story. Because if you want to become a statistic, you don't have to do anything. Just sit around, stay in neutral, don't set any goals, don't work any harder than you've been working to this point. Don't do anything to condition yourself for success. Don't be disciplined. Don't develop any mental toughness. Don't have any confidence. And I guarantee you'll become a statistic. You'll become a statistic at the exact moment that you decide you're not going to do anything else. Or the exact moment you don't decide you're going to do something else. So you can just be a stat by doing absolutely nothing. So if you've been doing nothing to this point, keep doing what you've been doing, which is nothing. You'll become a stat, guaranteed. You might already be one. But if you want to become a story, it starts with a decision. Are you going to make a decision that you are going to defy the odds, as they say? Defy the odds and become one of the few who makes a decision to do something different than what most other people do. And when you make that decision, guarantee if it's a real decision, you're going to take some action to follow up on it. You're going to continue to take action. You're going to eventually get the result. You're going to become that success story. People are going to be paying you to hear what you have to say and how you did it. Have a great week. Work on your game. DreAllDay.com.